Hi everybody, Heather from New Zealand here. Today we're going to look at what weekly task we can do around the home to keep it clean and organised. We're also going to come up with a plan that makes it easy and stress-free. Sounds pretty good, huh? So, if you're interested, please keep watching. Okay, so if you've been following me at all on YouTube, and thank you for all of those who've subscribed, you'll have known that we've gone through the 31 baby steps of the Flylady cleaning system. And if you haven't seen those, I really recommend that you go back and have a look at those videos. But before you do, watch the rest of this video, because this video is about not jobs that we do every day, but jobs that we do once a week. And keeping on top of those jobs that help things to run really smoothly. So let's talk some more about that. Okay, so I have a list here. This is actually my personal list, which I'm in the process of putting up on the helpfulhabits.co.nz website. I'll put a link down below for that. So if you want to print that off, please go to that website and join us, and when I've got this up and running, I'll send you an email so you can have access to this. But this is based off the Flylday system. I have all the tasks written out for each day. I also have ticks that I do. So if you're interested in that, then please check out that website. But I'm going to use this as our base for what we talk about today. As I said, this is based on the Flylady system, tweaked a bit to fit my life, and I recommend that you tweak it a bit to fit your life, because everybody's life's different. Some people stay at home all day, some people work all day, some people have children at home, some people have children at school, some people live alone, some people have a lot of other demands. Maybe they do go out and do lots of volunteering work. Everybody's different, so everybody's Flylady system needs to be slightly different and personalised as well. What the Flylady has done is each day of the week she has given tasks. This is on top of your daily routines, and she's spread the weekly jobs over a week. Weekly jobs over a week, pretty easy, right? So for Monday, she does something that's called the weekly home blessing. Now that doesn't need to sound complicated, and I may do a separate video just on this one, because it's one of those ones that actually has quite a bit in it. But to sum it up, what the weekly home blessing is, it's not a deep cleaning program, it's a wiping of the surfaces, keeping the house generally clean. She recommends that you do it in an hour. Okay, so we're not going for perfection here. We're just doing a general tidy, a general clean. Now, I have, if you see on my list for Mondays, see there's my list. If you notice, I put the date and I put on there, because it's once a week, this obviously will last a couple of weeks. So I just tick as I go. Okay, so this week I'll put Monday's date, and as I've done each item, I'll tick them off. Now there's a reason I did that rather than just having one tick per week, and that is with the weekly home blessing. I found that sometimes I needed to, on my busy days when I was at work, I needed to spread that over a couple of days because I couldn't quite get all those jobs done. So that's why the checklist is there with a few more extra boxes. So on Monday, we're going to take an hour and we're going to do these tasks. So, vacuum the main floors. Now, I cheat here. I have a robotic vacuum cleaner. Now, we actually call our robotic vacuum cleaner Dobby. I don't know if any of you are Harry Potter fans, but in Harry Potter, they have a house elf called Dobby. And he's basically a slave who cleans the house. Well, we've called our robotic vacuum cleaner Dobby. So our little Dobby is perfect for vacuuming the main areas. So for example, when I'm doing the bus run to pick my daughter off the bus, I'll leave Dobby in the lounge, and when I come back, he has vacuumed the living area for me. Maybe later in the day I might chuck him in the hallway and he'll do the hallway and the bathroom for me while I'm doing something else. So that's a little bit of a cheat that I do for vacuuming the main areas. I'm not going into the corners and getting all those little, tiny bits and pieces. I'm just doing a general vac. So a robotic vacuum cleaner, if you're lucky enough to have one, is perfect for that. I'll put a link below to one that I really like if you're interested in getting one of those. But if you don't have one, don't stress. That's no worries at all. We certainly don't need to have all the bells and whistles to make this system easy. It works by itself. So just a normal vacuum cleaner will do, or if you don't have carpets, you could just sweep the area. So just the main traffic areas, the main dirty areas, that's what we're going after on the Monday. A quick dust, that kind of explains itself, just the main areas around the house. Some people like to use spray, some people prefer a damp cloth or a feather duster. However you do it, just do a quick dust. This is not a getting all the cobwebs down, wiping down each ornament that you've got. We're not going to do that. We're going to do a quick dust of the main areas. Second thing, again, this is all on the list, so if you don't want to write it all down, you can just go to that website. A quick mop of the floors. Again, not a big thorough mop, just however you do it. You're going to clean all these areas more thoroughly later on in the zone cleaning, and it won't be too long. I'll be doing a video on zone cleaning. That's when you get into your nitty gritty, not on the weekly home blessing. And then of course, changing your beds. I love to change my beds once a week because I'm asthmatic and it's important for me to keep my dust level and my bed clean. Tuesday, as you can see very clearly, is a free day. So you might have some other jobs that maybe you didn't do. You might decide, okay, I don't have as much energy today, so I'm just going to take things a little bit more slowly. Up to you, a free day. Tuesday is a free day. Our next day, Wednesday. Now, Wednesday she calls planning and procrastination. No. I got that wrong. Planning and anti-procrastination day. None of us need help with procrastinating more, I'm sure. I know I don't. Okay, so again, there's a few things on our list for Wednesday. So let's go through those. So, to do something that you've been putting off. Now, this obviously can be a challenge because if you've been putting something off, there's probably a reason. But to push yourself a little bit and say, okay, this is the day I start or I finish or I do that thing that I've been putting off. And it's usually the best one to do is the one that just pops to mind straight away. That one you've probably already thought of. Planning the food for a week. That's always a good idea to know ahead of time what you're going to be eating. Have a look in the fridge. What can you use for this coming week for your meals? Also, create a shopping list. There's a reason we do that on Wednesday, and you'll see why that comes up. Okay, the next thing I've got is to balance your budget. Have a look at your budget. I have done a lot of work on as a budget advisor over my life, and on my helpfulhabits.co I've got a series there and resources there for making up a budget. So that's a big part of my life, keeping the money organised. That's a priority for me. So I really stress that, if you want to get on top of your money, make it part of your weekly routines. Thursday, it's Thursday already. What do we do on Thursday? Errands and shopping. Okay, so we've got a grocery shop. Remember we wrote that list on Wednesday, so the grocery shop to do. I personally do a library run. We get lots of books out of the library and I don't like paying overdue, so I always make sure that I do a library run that day. Any errands that you've got in town, you could if you put those all together, you're going to be much more efficient rather than running back and forward, in and out to town all the time. I try to always catch up on with a friend, maybe have a cup of tea in a cafe, or maybe go visiting, something like that. I love Fridays. Doesn't everybody love Fridays? But I love Fridays on this list, and this is why. car, bills and paperwork. Does that sound a bit boring? Car, bills and paperwork? And it actually, I spend a lot of time in my car, so I love having a clean car to just get in and sit, rather than, I mean, I've had 3 children. I've got 1 left at home. The rest have grown up. But I used to, before the Flylady, clean my car out when it started to smell. Basically, when the kids had left food around and there was a rotten apple under the car seat or whatever it was, I'd go, oh, I must clean my car. Not any longer. On Fridays, I clean my car. That means taking out any junk that's been left in there. I only allow 15 minutes though. I don't want to say, okay, I've got this huge mission, I'm going to clean the car. So put the timer on. Do the Flylady timer trick. Put the timer on for 15 minutes, clean your car for 15 minutes, stop, move on. You'll be amazed at how much you get done. I also like to wash the car on a Friday as well. Just that reminder on Friday, time to wash the car. I also clear my desks. Things can accumulate, little things can accumulate, and if I'm always like, okay, today's the day to clear, then it can take a minute. If you do this every week, it just takes a minute. But having these little reminders are really helpful. What else have we got on here? Paying any bills. If you pay, that's my dog barking. My apologies. He must want inside. Saturday, fun day for family and friends. Yay! So I only have one thing on, and you might not even need to put this on your list. Saturday, I wash the dog. If you don't have a dog, don't wash him. You might have some other things that you want to do on a Saturday, but make some time to have relaxed, joyful, happy times with family or with friends. Or if maybe you haven't got a chance to meet up with somebody on a Saturday, you might want to have a special time for you. Maybe watch that movie you've been putting off watching. Maybe take yourself for a nice walk through the local rose gardens. I don't know, whatever would bring you joy. Plan a fun, enjoyable activity for Saturdays. And Sunday, of course, is the day of rest. So we tootle off to our local church, which brings us much joy and friendship and love. So that's what we do on our Sundays. Then again, we're all ready to start the week on a Monday. So that's it. That's the weekly plan. Go to the helpfulhabits.co.nz. There's a link in the description below, and if you join us, you will automatically get a spreadsheet similar to this, but with the daily habits. And there's also a link there to my sheets on creating a budget. If you're interested in that, you don't get it if you don't want it, just don't click on it. I am in the process of putting this one up on the website too. If you're interested in that, just tick housekeeping as one of your interests, and when I've got this up and running and ready for you, I'll send you an email with a link to that. Okay, everybody, farewell from New Zealand. Have a great day, whatever day of the week it is for you, and please give me your comments about this video and the weekly plan and how you're getting along with that, any struggles that you might be having, any victories you might be having as well. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, bye from New Zealand.